This podcast is edited and produced by Buford Digital Productions. Visit their website to see what they can do for you for today.
The wandering path. The wandering path.
Welcome to the Wandering Path podcast, a sanctuary for the modern seeker and a dedicated practitioner. Here we believe that magic isn't just found at the destination, it's woven into every step of the journey. Whether you're here for the wisdom of tarot, the pull of the moon, or the whispers of the stars, you found your seat at the table. I'm your host, Adonis Youngblood, and today we're stepping back onto the path to explore what it truly means to live a life of magic. Welcome back to all the wonderful listeners of this wonderful podcast. I am incredibly thankful for everyone who is listening, subscribing, and following, and actually going liking all my videos. I finally been able to post on not just on Spotify but created a feed for Amazon Podcast Music, whatever they call it, and on YouTube Podcast. I'm still struggling a little bit with Apple for some weird reason, but that's okay. And also my Twitter page, Blue Sky Tumblr account is now active, and there are actually people there that are liking my stuff. So if you come from any of these platforms, different platforms, hi, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic, I want to talk about zodiac and horoscope. So, there is a difference. I have been practicing the craft for quite a while now, and even I didn't know the true difference between a zodiac and horoscope. I knew there was a difference, but after this podcast, we will both learn so much more. So, welcome. What's the difference between zodiac signs and horoscope? Well, horoscope and zodiac signs are a unique, interchangeable, and a usual conversation. There is a distinct structural difference between the two. Think of it as a difference between a category and a forecast. The zodiac sign is an astronomical address referring to one of the 12 specific segments of the celestial belt that the sun appears to pass through over the course of a year. What it represents based on your date of birth. It describes your sun sign, which is essentially the placement of the sun in a specific constellation at the moment of your birth. Your sun sign never changes. It is considered a blueprint of your core personality, ego, and basic nature. The 12 different signs are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Then we go over to horoscope. Horoscope is a map of the moment, a chart or diagram representing the positions of the sun, moon, planets, astrological aspects, authentic specific moment and time where you were born. What it represents, while you usually think of horoscope as the daily predictions in a magazine, a true horoscope is a technical map. A birth chart is actually a natal horoscope, a snapshot of the entire sky when you were born. It is dynamic and predictive. When you read a daily horoscope, an astrologer is looking at the current position of the planets or transients and how they are interacting with your birth zodiac sign. The purpose is the aim of an accurate insight into specific time frames, daily, weekly, or monthly, to suggest how current celestial energy might affect your life and your current predicaments. The definition: a zodiac sign is a 30-degree segment of the sky where horoscope is a chart or interpretation of the planetary positions. The duration: zodiac is a permanent because it is assigned to you at birth. Horoscope is temporary because it all depends on an aspect of a daily, weekly, monthly, or a single moment in time. The focus is zodiac sign is personality traits and identity. Horoscope is all about timing, events, and influences. The analogy we can use is zodiac is the actor in a play where horoscope is the script of the current scene. In short summary, your zodiac sign is who you are, and a horoscope is the interpretation of what might be happening to you based on where the planets is now currently at this moment. Now, the next question that so many people ask is the cardinal, fixed, and mutable. What does it all mean? In astrology, the 12 signs are divided into three qualities: cardinal, fixed, and mutable. These qualities describe how a sign interacts with the world and how they handle energy and change. Each quality contains four signs, one for each element: fire, earth, air, and water, and corresponding to the beginning, middle, and the end of a season. The cardinal signs is the initiators. Signs like Aries representing spring, Cancer representing summer, Libra representing autumn, and Capricorn representing winter. These are the idea people and the initiators of the zodiac. Because they coincide with the start of a new season, their energy is visionary and forward moving. The vibe being they are energetic, ambitious, and proactive. Strengths: they are excellent at starting projects, leading groups, and sparking change. They don't wait for permission to act. And the challenges they face is they might struggle with follow through. Once the newness of a project wears off, they are often ready to move on to the next big idea. Our fixed signs are also called the stabilizers. Signs like Taurus representing spring, Leo representing summer, Scorpio representing autumn, and Aquarius representing winter. Fixed signs occur in the middle of a season when the weather is most consistent. Consequently, these signs represent stability, endurance, and presence. The vibe they share is being reliable, focused, and determined. Their strengths are they are the doers who see things through to completion. They have incredible stamina and are the bedrock of the team or a relationship. Challenges: they can be incredibly stubborn. Because they value stability, they may resist necessary changes or stay in situations longer than they should. Our last collection is the mutable signs. They are also known as the adapters. Signs like Gemini representing spring, Virgo representing summer, Sagittarius representing autumn, and Pisces representing winter. Mutable signs fall at the end of a season. During the transition into the next, their role is to prepare for change, making them the most flexible and versatile members of the zodiac. The vibe they give off is fluid, communicative, and resourceful. The strengths they have is they are great at editing and refining the details. They can see multiple perspectives and are quick to pivot when a plan isn't working. The challenges they face is they can sometimes come across as flighty or inconsistent. Because they are so open to change, they may struggle with making firm decisions or feeling grounded. The modality cycle, you can think of these three qualities as a life cycle of any project. Cardinal signs come with the vision and to kick things off. Fixed signs do the heavy lifting to build and maintain the structure. Mutable signs assess with the results, making adjustments and prepare the transition for the next cycle to begin. So, as we can see from these three collections of the zodiacs, we all have our traits that are pros and we have our traits that are cons. So at the end of the day, we can all go and say, oh, I cannot work with a Gemini because of this and this and this, or I cannot work with a Scorpio because of these reasons. We all have our pros and we all have our cons. So it's not fair to say that all Aries are the same, or all Taurus are lazy, or anything like that. Because as soon as you go and say, oh, this sign is the best sign there is, we have to remember that we all have pros and cons when it comes to our zodiac signs. And when we see the horoscope, our natal horoscope, realize that we are all born in different situations. Some of us have similar situations. That's why we can stand together. There is a possibility for an Aries and a Taurus to stand together. But when we try to understand an Aries and a Taurus in a relationship, we know it cannot work. There's a percentage of how it can work, but only if they both give their 100%, not 50-50, 100-100. So there is my theory, my perspective of the whole zodiac horoscope scene. Moving on to air, water, earth, and fire meanings of the zodiac. While modalities describe how a sign acts, the four elements fire, earth, air, and water describe the fundamental nature and temperament of a sign. In astrology, these elements represent the basic vibrational frequency of a person's energy. Fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, they are the spirit, defined by action, passion, and spontaneity. They operate on instinct and their traits being courageous, idealistic, and highly creative. They tend to be high energy individuals who lead with their hearts. Their goal in mind is inspiration and self expression. When they are in balance, they are warm, encouraging, and charismatic. Out of balance, they can be impatient, impulsive, or prone to burnout. Earth, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, the body of grounding force of the zodiac. They are concerned with the physical world, tangible results, and the five senses. Their traits being practical, disciplined, and reliable. They value security and have a natural talent for managing resources and logistics. The goal in mind is stability and manifestation. When they are in balance, they are productive, patient, and deeply dependable. Out of balance, they are and become overly materialistic, rigid, and resistant to change. The air element, represented by Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. They are the mind, living in the realm of intellect, ideas, and social connections. They perceive the world through a lens of logic and communication, their traits being analytical, objective, and curious. They are the observers and the connectors who love to share information and explore new concepts. The goal in mind is connection and understanding. When they are in balance, they are excellent communicators, fair minded, and innovative. Out of balance, they can be all in their heads, appearing detached, cold, or indecisive. Water element represented by Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Emotions being the most sensitive and intuitive. They experience the world through feeling, empathy, and subconscious. Their traits being deeply emotional, imaginative, and nurturing. They are often highly attended to the unspoken energy in a room. The goal in mind is emotional depth and soul connection. When they are in balance, they are compassionate, loyal, and possess a powerful healing presence. Out of balance, they can become easily overwhelmed by emotions, being moody or just itsy. The elemental balance. Most people are a mix of these elements based on their full birth charts. For example, someone might have a fire sun sign passionate identity, but a lot of earth in the rest of the charts. That translates to a practical execution. That's why I say that not all Geminis are the worst, or not all Scorpions are expected to be just one thing. It all depends when we look at our full horoscopes that we are truly compatible or not. So stop judging people by based on what other people's experience or theirs or those experiences. But if you have had experience in the past with your exes, especially when it comes to relationships, and all five of your exes were a Taurus or Earth sign, then maybe a Earth sign just isn't for you. The five focus on identity and on what they want to create. Earth focuses on physicality and what the practical results would be. Air focusing on intellect and how to do different ideas connect. Water focuses on feelings and how does this move me in a particular sense. In another episode that I want to create and write a script for, I want to focus more on all the different signs they and how they talk about them in much detail. I also want to, I don't know if I'm going to, but I really want to create an episode where I say, okay, these two are compatible with each other because of this and this. I think that would be a really great episode to do for love reading, not a love reading, but a love podcast. And I also want to throw in a little bit of terror as well when I focus on zodiacs and horoscopes because each and every single tarot card that exists right now has a zodiac and and a horoscope in mind. More to do with the zodiac and the different elements. So I want to, when I go to the episodes of tarot readings and the I want to combine tarot and zodiac in one episode. Point made. I'm really babbling today, so I do apologize for that. But thank you for listening to this podcast. As always, have a wonderful and a blessed day. This podcast is presented and edited by Buford Digital Productions. I hope you enjoyed listening to this podcast and thank you for taking the time. And as always, have a wonderful and a blessed day.